Hey everyone, what is up? It is Sed here from Vertex Marketing Agency. Today, I am walking you through how we A/B test short-form content pulled directly from those longer videos you already made. But we are doing this whole process much faster, much cleaner, and significantly smarter using our secret weapon, Vizard. If you are already making long-form content, you absolutely need consistent short clips that actually move the needle on performance. Stick around because I'm about to show you the exact agency process for testing creatives and finding those massive winners. We will figure out what losers to retire and how to effectively scale the stuff that actually generates results. Also, a quick public service announcement. I genuinely love testing things. Honestly, it is the most fun part of this entire job for me. Coming up with fresh ideas, chopping them into those perfect bite-sized moments, and then seeing what actually resonates. That is the absolute best. All right, first we need to talk about the base setup for this entire strategy. Think of your overall social media strategy like managing a large ad account for consistency. You have your main campaign, which is your evergreen pillar content, the stuff that deserves most of your attention and budget. Then, you must have a completely separate testing lane, which is a smaller, more nimble playbook for experimentation. This testing lane is where you try out those new hooks, different thumbnail styles, punchier edits, and fresh copy variations. The entire goal of this parallel lane is simple. Discover what performs best so you can scale it into your main pipeline. Why do we strictly separate these two areas in our strategy? Because that main campaign needs to remain steady and predictable to maintain your baseline brand presence. The testing lane, however, is specifically where you take smart, calculated risks on new angles. And here is the key. If something from testing absolutely kills it, you immediately push that proven concept into the main pipeline and begin to scale. But if a test flops hard, you simply learn the lesson and move right along to the next idea. The entire iterative loop we follow looks like this. Idea, then test, then learn, and finally, scale. Now, if you're trying to execute this entire system manually, I can promise you it is painfully slow. You would be manually scrubbing through hours of footage, exporting multiple different versions, uploading them to a third-party scheduler, and constantly juggling giant spreadsheets. This is precisely the moment where a tool like Vizard completely changes the game for you. Vizard automates all of those annoying, time-consuming production parts of the workflow. It automatically finds the most viral, engaging moments hidden deep inside your long videos. It auto-edits those segments into ready-to-post clips, schedules them for you, and gives you one central content calendar to manage everything. This means you stop wasting precious hours on small, repetitive edits and spend way more time on high-level strategy and creative direction. Let's dive into the concrete steps, starting with step 1. Setting up your dedicated testing space. You must create a completely separate playlist or a dedicated content bucket in your calendar for this testing work. This testing area needs to perfectly mirror your main channel objective, whatever that might be. If your main goal is driving direct conversions like actual sales, then every single test should target that exact same outcome. If your main focus is pure brand awareness or collecting email signups, you must maintain that consistency in your tests. Consistency is crucial because when you finally discover a clear winner, you need to move it over seamlessly without resetting your baseline KPI. Here is a major pro tip. Lean heavily on Vizard's auto-edit feature to create multiple clip versions from one long-form video effortlessly. Take just one 5 to 10 minute interview and let Vizard intelligently output 3 to 5 distinct clips with different opening hooks and lengths. Now you instantly have content ready for rigorous testing without ever having to deal with the manual grinding work. Moving on to step 2. This is all about deciding exactly how you will structure each individual test you run. As an agency rule, we usually run what I call an ad set equivalent of creatives per test. That means we require a minimum of 2 unique variants to be tested, but never more than 6 variants. 2 is the absolute bare minimum because anything less than that simply isn't a statistically meaningful test. If you run more than 6 variants, you risk diluting your available views, which starves your data, and you cannot tell which one truly won. For most accounts, your sweet spot for running a single test will be right between 2 and 4 clips running simultaneously. Unless, of course, you have massive distribution budget or a truly enormous existing audience to support more variations. When you are designing these test variants, you must always keep the variable singular for clean learning. If you are specifically testing different opening hooks, keep the thumbnail, the caption length, and the posting time exactly the same across all clips. If your test is about video length, use the exact same creative style and hook, but output clean 15-second, 30-second, and 60-second cuts. Crucially, do not mix totally different formats in the same test, like a cinematic cut with a raw UGC clip and an animation altogether. Different formats inherently attract different audience behaviors, meaning your results will absolutely not be apples to apples comparisons. Another huge efficiency tip is to use Vizard to generate variations that are actually meaningful and powerful from the start. You can direct the AI to crop a clip down to only the sharpest, most high-energy hook available for that segment. Or you can ask it to generate a longer version that specifically includes that perfect, timely call to action near the end. Vizard's intelligent auto-edit prioritizes sections that already show high energy or inherent potential for virality. This means all your variations are starting from an already strong foundation of raw, engaging material. We now arrive at step 3, scheduling and intelligently allocating your test budget across the board. In this context, budget is not about dollars spent. It is purely about frequency of posting and distribution reach. You must set a consistent, recurring posting cadence specifically for all content in that testing lane. To get truly clean data, you have to give every single variant an absolutely equal chance to be seen by the audience. This means assigning the same posting day, similar time windows, and using the exact same caption strategy for all clips in the set. If you are running paid promotion behind these tests, apply the exact same marketing spend per clip for the initial viewing window to avoid biasing your numbers. This is where Vizard's auto-schedule feature makes the entire process completely painless for you. You simply set your desired posting frequency, and the system automatically distributes the clips based on the rules you predefined. So, how long should you actually let one of these crucial tests run for a definitive answer? Our agency baseline requires a minimum of 5 full days to run any given test. 5 days allows the platform algorithms enough time to find the right audience pool and lets you gather sufficient engagement data to make a smart call. Running a test for less time than that means you are likely just gambling on noise and randomness, not real trends. However, if your product involves a much longer, more considered sales cycle, you should absolutely extend this observation window. For high-ticket items or complex B2B sales, looking at 2 full weeks is often a very reasonable duration for testing. In those longer cases, you can track early proxy metrics like initial signups or qualified leads as strong indicators of final success. Now we enter step 4, which is all about monitoring your tests properly without burning out. Please, stop trying to babysit the performance metrics every single hour of the day. Instead, check in daily and focus only on the real, meaningful performance indicators for your goals. These metrics include cost per conversion if you are running paid ads, overall engagement rate, and view-through rate. Most importantly, you must track those top-line outcomes tied directly to your objective, like actual purchases or app installs. If a clip starts gaining significant traction quickly and the numbers look healthy, consider that a definite winner right there. If after the minimum time period, absolutely nothing shows promise, it is time to pause the test and begin iterating on a new hypothesis. Here is one major operational mistake that we see a ton of marketers making all the time. They take a high-performing clip out of the testing phase and then they upload it as a completely fresh file into their main pipeline. By doing that, you completely lose all of that valuable social proof, the likes, the comments, and the shares, all those small trust signals. This loss of momentum severely hurts how well that post will organically perform later on. Instead, when you officially promote a winner into your main content stream, you must maintain continuity by keeping the post live if possible. You should also replicate the winning format, the caption style, and the core creative elements in your very next post. Vizard actually assists you here because it keeps the source context for edits and lets you export highly consistent new versions. This ensures your promoted post never feels like a totally brand new asset that has zero pre-existing social momentum. Now for step 5, which is scaling those proven winners in a sensible and controlled manner. If a test variant continues to deliver exceptional performance, you must scale its distribution very slowly. This means increasing the posting cadence slightly, promoting the clip more selectively, or recycling that successful hook into new creative variations. What we do every couple of days is cautiously increase the distribution reach by about 20% for any clip that is currently top performing. We continuously monitor how the performance curve reacts to that slight distribution increase in real time. If the cost per result spikes up significantly or engagement suddenly drops, immediately pull back the distribution and test a new variant. And this next point is incredibly important. You must keep running the proven winners that are already succeeding. Let those top performing pieces continue to compound their reach and impact across your channels. If 3 different clips derived from the same core idea are all performing excellently, keep all 3 running and just pause the clear underperformer. The platform algorithms strongly favor content that demonstrates this kind of consistency across multiple posts. Multiple winners working in tandem prolong your overall reach and multiply your learning velocity exponentially. That is why we always architect our strategy around testing first, followed by a steady, reliable main content pipeline. This structure lets you continuously leverage proven content while simultaneously searching for that very next big viral piece. Now, Let us briefly talk about why Vizard absolutely beats the most common alternatives on the market. Hiring manual editors or even dedicated clip teams is inevitably slow and, let us be honest, quite expensive for consistent output. Basic trimming tools are only helpful for getting raw clips, but they do nothing to actually help you discover those innate viral moments. Many scheduling platforms are only useful for publishing content, completely neglecting the necessary editing and discovery phases. Other supposed all-in-one platforms often lock you into clunky, awkward workflows that feel very restrictive. They might also force you to set rigid start and end times for your tests, which completely kills the natural content momentum. Vizard, conversely, pulls the best moments, outputs numerous versatile variations, schedules them automatically, and centralizes your entire content calendar. That combination delivers true efficiency and massive scale without introducing unnecessary complexity to your team. When you compare this to hiring a traditional, expensive agency, the difference is clear. Agencies can certainly deliver great creative work, but it comes with a much higher price tag and longer turnaround times. If you are an individual creator or a small internal team, you need a tool that makes you both consistently fast and highly repeatable. Vizard perfectly fits that specific niche because it is not trying to replace your creative judgment whatsoever. It simply removes all the repetitive, tedious production work so you can focus only on the creative decisions that truly matter. Let us wrap up with a few final critical operational tips to keep your testing environment sharp. First tip, never, ever overtest by running too many variants at once relative to your actual audience size. Keep your number of test variants realistic, or you will spread your data too thin to draw any clear conclusion. Second tip, which we mentioned, maintain absolute format consistency within a single test group to isolate the variable correctly. Always keep your test variables singular to ensure you know exactly what caused the performance shift. The third tip involves using early proxy metrics if your final sales cycle is naturally very long for your specific product. Look closely at early signals like initial qualified leads, demo bookings, or high-intent landing page engagement. Tip number 4, always maintain a running log, whether it is a physical spreadsheet or using Vizard's built-in calendar system. You must log every winner and precisely document the exact reason why you concluded it won. This builds your institutional playbook. Okay, let us recap this entire proven process in one quick looping summary. First, set up your main pipeline and a completely dedicated testing lane for experimentation. Second, utilize Vizard to automatically generate multiple high-quality variations from your existing long-form videos. Third, run between 2 and 6 variants per test, making absolutely sure you only change one single variable at a time. Fourth, let every test run for a minimum of 5 full days to allow the algorithms to gather enough data. Fifth, monitor only the correct, meaningful performance metrics that tie directly back to your stated business objective. Sixth, once validated, move those winners into your main content stream and begin scaling their distribution very slowly and carefully. Finally, rinse and repeat this entire intelligent testing cycle as often as your content calendar allows. If you want the exact cheat sheet we use at the agency, including naming conventions and cadence recommendations, I will drop a direct link right below. There are absolutely no emails required, and you will not have to jump through any hoops to get it. Just grab that resource, run a few of these structured tests this week, and you will instantly see how much faster you can iterate when you stop the manual heavy lifting. That is everything for this detailed breakdown today, and thank you so much for watching along with me. If you are creating long-form content right now and struggling to turn it into short, high-performing clips, you must try Vizard for just a couple of tests. I promise you will save dozens of hours and get significantly cleaner, more reliable data to base your future decisions on. Hit me up in the comments section if you want me to break down a real case study from one of our agency clients. I can walk you through the exact strategic edits that Vizard suggested for that specific client's content. All right, that is it for now. Peace out and have an amazing time. Happy testing.